Oduwa was born on a peaceful night in the town of Asaba, Nigeria. His mother, Omosigho, was a young woman who had fallen in love with a man who promised her the world but left her with nothing. When she became pregnant, despite the stigma of being born out of wedlock, Omosigho was determined to give Oduwa a good life. She worked tirelessly, doing odd jobs around the town to make ends meet. Oduwa grew up in a small, modest house, but it was filled with love. Omosigho was known in Asaba as a kind and hard-working woman. She never spoke ill of Oduwa's father, choosing instead to focus on raising her son with good values. She taught him to be strong, honest, and hardworking, qualities that would shape his future. Despite their struggles, Omosigho always made sure Oduwa felt loved and protected. When Oduwa was 10 years old, Omosigho fell seriously ill. It started with a persistent cough, then fatigue, and eventually she was unable to walk. The local doctor was unable to diagnose her condition, and her health deteriorated rapidly. Desperate for better medical care, Omosigho decided to move to Benin City, where her mother, Mama Osarodion, and her sister, Aunty Osaro, lived. The move to Benin City was challenging for Oduwa. He had to leave behind the only home he had ever known and started a new life in new home. In a busy city of Benin, Mama Osarodion, a stern woman, took them in reluctantly. She had always been disappointed in Omosigho's choice of life and saw Oduwa, her grandchild, as a reminder of her daughter's mistake. Aunty Osaro, a bitter lady with a difficult life, was not kind at all. She never cared in participating or contributing in taking care of her sick sister and nephew. Omosigho's condition worsened. It got out of control and she passed away not long after they moved to Benin City. Her death left Oduwa devastated and alone in a city and a house that felt cold and unwelcoming. Mama Osarodion and Aunty Osaro treated Oduwa with indifference at best. Maltreats caused him pain at worst. They saw him as a burden and often make him do all the household chores. Oduwa quickly learned that he had to fend for himself. At 12 years, Oduwa began working various odd jobs to support himself. He helped people with farm work, carried goods at the markets, and even worked on construction sites. The work was hard and the pay was very poor and insufficient, but Oduwa was determined to survive. He often went to bed hungry and exhausted, but he never gave up. The strong value his mother had impacted inside of Oduwa kept him going. One day, while working on a construction site, Oduwa met Mr. Chima, a kind-hearted engineer who noticed the young boy's hard-working nature and sharp mind. Mr. Chima was impressed at Oduwa's persistent strength and decided to mentor him. He encouraged Oduwa to go back to school, promising to help him with the fees. This was a turning point in Oduwa's life. With Mr. Chima's support, Oduwa returned to school. It wasn't easy balancing work and studies, but he was determined to succeed. He often studied by the light of a kerosene lamp at night after a long day of labor. Despite the hardship, Oduwa excelled in his studies, especially in mathematics and science. Mr. Chima contributed to support and encourage him, providing not just financial help but also guidance and mentorship. Words of advice never to give up. Oduwa's hard work paid off when he graduated at the top of his class. He earned a scholarship to study engineering at the University of Benin. It was a dream come true, and he knew he had to make the most of the opportunity. At university, Oduwa continued to work hard, often doing multiple jobs to support himself. Despite the challenges, Oduwa excelled in his studies. He participated in various engineering projects and was known for his innovative solutions. His determinations and talents did not go unnoticed. Upon graduation, Oduwa received a job offer at Asaba, Delta State in Nigeria, from a reputable engineering firm. It was the beginning of a new chapter in his life. Oduwa's career took off, and he quickly rose through the ranks of the engineering firm. His innovative ideas and hard work earned him recognition and respect in the industry. He traveled around the world working on major projects and eventually started his own engineering company. Oduwa's company became known for its cutting-edge solutions and ethical practices. Despite his success, Oduwa never forgot his roots. He returned to Benin City and set up a foundation to support underprivileged children. The foundation provided scholarships, mentorship, and vocational training, helping countless young people find a path to a better life. Oduwa also took care of Mama Osarodion and Aunty Osaro, ensuring they were comfortable in their old age, even though they had treated him poorly. Oduwa's success brought him into contact with many people, including his estranged father. His father, now a struggling businessman, reached out to him, seeking forgiveness and help. This was a moment of reckoning for Oduwa. He had spent years battling with feelings of abandonment and resentment. Now faced with the man who had walked away, Oduwa had to decide whether to forgive and move on or hold onto the pain of the past. In a dramatic confrontation, Oduwa met his father. The old man, visibly aged and weary, apologized for his past mistakes. He explained that he had been young and scared, unable to face the responsibilities of fatherhood. Oduwa listened, feeling a mist of emotion. Ultimately, he chose to forgive his father, realizing that holding on to anger would only harm himself. He agreed to help his father, not out of obligation, but because he wanted to close that painful chapter of his life. Oduwa's life journey became an inspiration to many. He often spoke at schools and events, sharing his stories of persistence and determination. He encouraged young people to never give up, no matter how difficult their circumstance. Oduwa's foundation continued to grow, helping more and more children every year. He also became involved in community development projects, working to improve infrastructure and access to education in rural areas. As Oduwa looked back on his life, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had overcome incredible odds, transformed his pains into purpose, and made a positive impact on the world. He was grateful for the lessons his mother had taught him and the support of people like Mr. Chima. Most of all, he was proud of the man he had become. Oduwa's story is a testament to the power of persistence, never to give up, forgiveness, and the belief that one's circumstance do not define one's future. From a boy who had nothing, Oduwa became a man who gave everything, leaving a lasting legacy of hope and inspiration. Oduwa's journey was not without its struggles, but his determinations and kindness guided him through. His story is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest time of life, hope and perseverance can lead to a brighter days. For more interesting stories like this, kindly click on the subscribe button, like and share. Also put on the post notification bell so you always get notified anytime we post a new one like this. Also, drop a comment in the comment section.